In a world overflowing with information and endless arguments, mastering the art of thinking critically is not just an advantage, it's almost a necessity these days. By the end of this episode, you'll possess a powerful toolkit, unlocking a new level of understanding and problem-solving capabilities that will transform how you approach challenges, debates, and most importantly, how you will make decisions. By elevating your critical thinking skills, you will enhance your influence and discover how to see beyond the surface of what's presented to you. But what is critical thinking? Critical thinking stands as one of the most crucial skills you can develop, enhance, and improve. But what does critical thinking entail? Essentially, it embodies the practice of deep analysis, evaluation, and synthesis of information, approached with a healthy dose of skepticism and with logical reasoning. This skill prompts you to peer beneath the apparent layer of information and entertain various viewpoints and arrive at decisions that are not just well thought out, but are also grounded in rationality. By honing your critical thinking, you are empowered to cut through the noise and complexity of our modern world today, leading to clearer judgment and better outcomes. So, what prompted this topic for today? Well, in today's fast-paced digital-first society, the loss of strong critical thinking skills is vividly apparent. This is observable in the realm of just look at all the social media, where information, accurate or not, spreads like wildfire without substantial or any kind of scrutiny. People often accept headlines at face value without digging deeper into the sources or considering the underlying biases. This trend is also visible in the polarization of political discourse, where individuals align with ideas more because of group identity than through reasoning analysis of facts and policies. Furthermore, the convenience of algorithms suggesting what we read and what we watch and what we listen to creates echo chambers that reinforces existing beliefs and opinions rather than challenging them with diverse and different perspectives. This lack of critical engagement not only holds back personal growth and understanding, but also undermines the very fabric of an informed democracy. So how do we actually improve our critical thinking skills? Well, it's not as daunting as it might seem. Here are some clear steps, exercises, and advice to help you on your journey. First off, be cautious. Always approach new information with a cautious eye. In today's digital age, information is constantly at our fingertips, but not all of it is reliable. One of the keys to critical thinking is learning to evaluate the credibility of sources and the validity of arguments. This can be done by asking questions like, who is providing this information? What is their motive? And is there evidence to support their claims? Taking the time to assess information critically and not accepting it at face value is a crucial first step towards your critical thinking skill. So, what are some of the steps to approach information with caution? 1. Identify the source. Always take a moment to look up the source of information. Reputable sources tend to have a history of reliability and accuracy. 2. Understand the context. Context matters. Seek it actively. Why was this information created? What is happening in the world that relates to it? Number 3, check for evidence. Look for the data or evidence supporting the claims. Reliable information is usually backed up by research or data. 4, cross-reference. Verify the information by consulting multiple sources. If multiple credible sources convey the same message, it adds to the credibility of the information. And number 5, and this is probably the toughest, be open to different perspectives. Exposing yourself to a variety of viewpoints can provide a fuller picture and help you evaluate the information more effectively. And 6, ask constructive questions. Instead of dismissing new information outright, ask questions that probe deeper into the validity and the relevance. By following these steps, you can cultivate a balanced and cautious approach to handling new information without descending into skepticism or negativity. Next, in your critical thinking path, question your assumptions. We all have biases that can influence our thinking, and part of our critical thinking is learning to recognize and challenge those biases. Ask yourself, why do I believe this? Is there evidence to support my belief, or am I simply accepting it because it aligns with my existing views? This step requires intellectual humility and the willingness to admit when our assumptions may be wrong. By questioning our assumptions, we open ourselves up to consider alternative perspectives and come to a more informed set of conclusions. So what are the steps to questioning our assumptions? 1, identify your beliefs. Begin by clearly identifying the beliefs or assumptions you hold about a certain topic or situation. It's important to articulate these to yourself to know exactly what you are questioning. 2, trace the origin. Once you've pinpointed your beliefs, try to trace their origins. Ask yourself, where did these beliefs come from? Were they influenced by personal experiences, education, societal norms, or perhaps the media? 3, challenge your beliefs. Actively challenge your beliefs by asking critical questions such as, what evidence do I have to support this belief? And could I be wrong? Consider the opposite viewpoint and what evidence there is to support that perspective. Number 4, seek out contrary evidence. Look for information, data, or perspectives that contradict your beliefs. This will help you to see the topic from different angles and provide a more rounded understanding. 5, engage in critical discussion. Discussing your beliefs with others, especially those who have different views, can provide valuable insights and challenge you to think critically about your assumptions and your beliefs. Be open to changing your mind based on new information or perspectives. Number 6, reflect regularly. Regularly reflection on your beliefs and assumptions is critical. Acknowledge when your beliefs have changed due to new evidence or insights and adapt your perspective accordingly. This ongoing process is essential for developing strong critical thinking skills. By following these steps, you can effectively question your assumptions, broadening your understanding, and enhancing your ability to think critically about the world around you. Next, critical thinking through logic. This involves breaking down complex problems into simpler parts and examining how these parts relate to each other. For example, if you're trying to decide whether to accept a job offer, you might break down the decision into factors like salary, job duties, company culture, commute time, and so on. Then weigh the importance of each factor to make a well-reasoned decision. Now, the steps to applying logic to your critical thinking skill set: break down the problem. Start by dividing the issue into smaller, more manageable parts. This simplification allows you to tackle each component one at a time, making the overall problem less overwhelming. 2, identify the premises. Determine the underlying premises or assumptions. These are the foundational statements or facts that your logical reasoning will be built upon. It's crucial to ensure these are accurate and relevant. 3, develop a logical structure. Arrange your premises in a way that they lead logically to a conclusion. Now, this step may involve creating a series of if-then statements or mapping out the relationships or dependencies between the different premises. Number 4, evaluate the arguments. Critically assess the validity of your logical structure. Check for common logical fallacies or errors in reasoning that could undermine your conclusion. This might include checking for oversimplification, false dichotomies, or unproven assumptions. 5. Now, draw a conclusion. After a thorough evaluation, draw a conclusion based on the logical sequences you've established. Ensure that the conclusion directly follows from the premises. If the conclusion does not seem to follow naturally, you may need to revisit the earlier steps to adjust your reasoning. And next, in your steps toward improving your critical thinking skills, avoid logical fallacies. Avoiding logical fallacies is another crucial aspect of overall just better critical thinking. Logical fallacies are errors in reasoning that can undermine the logic of your argument. For example, an ad hominem fallacy involves attacking the person making an argument rather than addressing the argument itself. By learning to recognize and avoid these fallacies, you can strengthen your critical thinking skills and improve your influence. The steps to avoiding logical fallacies: 1 is educate yourself. Familiarize yourself with common logical fallacies and how they manifest in arguments. Some of the most common include ad hominem, straw man, slippery slope, and false dilemmas. 2, consider alternative explanations. When faced with a persuasive argument, consider alternative explanations for the evidence presented. This will help you to avoid accepting an argument simply because it seems convincing on the surface. 3, examine the evidence. Pay close attention to the evidence presented in an argument and evaluate whether it's true or not. Look for any bias or manipulation of the information that could skew the argument's logic. Number 4, stay focused. It's easy to get sidetracked during a debate or argument or discussion, but it's important to stay focused on the topic at hand. Avoid making personal attacks or introducing irrelevant information. 5, again, and I'm repeating this multiple times, be open to change. Be willing to change your mind if presented with new evidence or a stronger argument. This again will show intellectual humility and a commitment to seeking truth rather than just defending your own beliefs. And number 6, practice, practice, practice. The more you engage in critical thinking, the better you will become at spotting logical fallacies and avoiding them in your own reasoning. So, keep practicing and challenging yourself to think critically in all aspects of life. The next, and one that you've heard from me many before if you're a long-time listener, it's all about asking good questions. The power of asking good questions cannot be overstated. I wrote an entire book about it. Check it out, Beyond the Obvious. You can get it on Amazon, audio, digital, or print. Questions are key to critical thinking skills. Questions are the tools that critical thinkers use to probe deeper into issues and uncover new insights. Ask open-ended questions that encourage thoughtful responses, and don't be afraid to ask follow-up questions to clarify or expand on the points. Steps for developing good questioning skills: 1, start with the why. Asking why questions can help you to understand the reasoning behind someone's beliefs or actions. 2, use different question types. There are several types of questions that can serve different purposes, such as probing for more information, clarifying a point, or challenging assumptions. Use a variety of question types to get comprehensive understanding of the issue. 3, and this is one most people do not do, listen actively. Listening is just as critical as asking good questions. Pay attention to the answers. Don't be thinking about your next question. Ask for clarification on the answer they gave. That will force you to maintain an active listening posture. Don't be afraid to dig in deeper. It's number 4. If you feel like there's more to be uncovered, don't be afraid to keep asking questions until you reach a satisfactory level of understanding. 5, be respectful. Remember to ask questions respectfully and without judgment. This will foster open and honest dialogue, leading to deeper insights and better understanding. And number 6, practice curiosity. Cultivate a curious mindset and be open to exploring new ideas and perspectives through good questioning. So what's next? Improving your critical thinking skills is a journey. It's not a destination. It requires practice, patience, and perseverance. Remember to always maintain a clear and authoritative tone. Let the strength of your logical reasoning and thoughtful questioning speak for itself without resorting to condensation or jargon. Now, let's put this into practice. What about an exercise? An effective way to hone your critical thinking skills is to engage in a structured debate with a friend. Now, here are the steps you can go about to set up this debate and learn from it. 1, select a topic. Choose a topic that's interesting and potentially contentious for both of you and your friend. This could range from discussions on social issues, scientific debates, ethical dilemmas, or even preferences in movies and art. 2, assign positions. Flip a coin to decide who will argue in favor and who will argue against the topic. This randomness ensures that you might have to argue a position you don't personally hold, which is excellent for developing your skills of being open to hear other positions. 3, prepare your arguments. Each person takes some time to research the topic and prepare their arguments. Remember to look for credible sources and anticipate counter arguments you might face. 4, engage in the debate. Set a specific time and place for the debate. Lay ground rules for respectful engagement and time limits for each argument. Then, present your arguments and listen to each other's points, rebutting as necessary. 5, do this. Record the debate. Record that debate. The reason is, this isn't for sharing, but for personal review. Listening to the recording can help you identify areas of strength in your argumentation, as well as tendencies towards any logical fallacies. Number 6, reflect and discuss. After the debate, take some time to discuss with your friend what you each learned from the experience. Reflect on the strength of the arguments presented and how you might improve in future discussions. And here's the curveball. Switch sides. For an added challenge, you can switch sides and argue from the opposite perspective. Now, this exercise can broaden your understanding of the issue and further improve your critical thinking skills. With practice, you will become a strong and persuasive critical thinker, able to tackle any problem with confidence and clarity. Keep honing your skills through continued learning and application, and never stop seeking truth through critical thinking. But what are the rewards? We've gone through all of the skills and steps, the practice exercise. What's the pot of gold at the end? The rewards of improving your critical thinking skills are well worth the effort, trust me. Critical thinking can help you make better decisions, solve problems more effectively, and navigate the complexities of a modern world with greater ease and with greater confidence. So take these tips and advice to heart. Apply them in your daily life. Question, analyze, evaluate, and most importantly, keep learning. The impact on your personal and professional life will be profound. You'll become a more discerning consumer of information, a more effective problem solver, and a more thoughtful communicator. Not to mention a better innovator. And who knows, you might even inspire others to become critical thinkers too. So, thank you for taking the time to be here today to explore this power of critical thinking. I'm thrilled to invite you to take the next step in our journey together by subscribing and becoming a member of our community. By joining, you'll be supporting this channel while gaining access to a wealth of resources, exclusive content, and network of thinkers who share your passion. Visit philmckinney.com and click on membership to start. Together, we'll continue to challenge our perspectives, sharpen our minds, and make a meaningful impact. See you there. Bye-bye.